Yo, yo, ay, come and get your man. Ay, 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 come and get your man. Ay, I got this AK, I might just pop him like a Zan. Ay, my buzz done and shining hard, got diamonds on my hand. Ay, when I start getting paid, I fell in love with Big Man. Ay, that boy, he a dark ass nigga, he cannot.
Okay, back with another video. It's gonna be hella quick because oh my gosh, I have work in an hour, so. But before we get into anything, I want you to subscribe, like, and comment down below. Comment down below anything, whether it's hi, hello, hey, you know, this is how you should wear your wigs because that looks whack, you know, whatever. Also, or just comment like types of videos you guys would like to see. I really need advice and just suggestions, honestly. But yeah, so do those 3 things and then do a 4th thing where you go and follow my other social media accounts, especially my Instagram. And the light. Okay, so for this video, we're doing another fashion recap for the month of February. Of course, February is already over. We're 2 months into 2019. It's crazy, man. And just for y'all to know, my birthday passed as well. Like, February 20th, baby. Pisces, same birthday as Rihanna. You know, and the more people I find out that are Pisces, the more it makes sense. My Pisces ways. Earl Sweatshirt's a Pisces, Tyler the Creator's a Pisces, Michi Monomers, I don't know if I said his ad correctly. A lot happened in February. Of course, it was not just New York Fashion Week, but London Fashion Week as well. So I try my best to stay up to date, but as a student, and then I just got my new job. It is difficult. I'm telling you. Juggle everything. See, this is how I waste time. Okay. Gucci's blackface sweater. I think, like, if you haven't seen it, you live under a rock. Now, a lot of people may look at it and be like, oh my gosh, like, y'all are too sensitive. How is that ever remotely close to blackface? Like, it's not even covering the whole face. Scratch all that, scratch all that, scratch all that. Because, honestly, I already get pissed when, you know, if you're not even black, for you to try to make sense of it or for you to justify it, it's just like, no, because not being black already makes you one step away from really understanding the hurt that it caused. Like, right now I'm taking African American studies, and honestly learning the whole backstory of blackface, especially post, you know, slavery, post-Reconstruction era, the structure, the whole caricature that was created to really institutionalize black people psychologically, it really is that big of a deal to us, or at least to most of us. I can't speak for all black people, but I know for me, blackface is a very serious topic for me. That's a serious issue because I know the backstory of it. Honestly, it's no surprise. And then right after that, Burberry comes out with this sweatshirt with a noose around it. Someone commented on it saying that suicide is nothing to play with. Like, y'all, like, okay, yes, that is true. That suicide should not be romanticized at all. But I think we also know that I don't think their intention was to romanticize suicide. I think we also know that they were playing with the nooses used to lynch black people. Now I can't speak fully on that one either because I didn't do too much research into that one as much as I did with Gucci. And then Gucci happens just a couple weeks after Prada released their little keychain monkey things. I won't lie, with that one I was like, I didn't see it at first, but then I looked twice and I was like, okay, this is what happens. And with in any industry, you know, whether it's fashion, whether it's business, whether it's the healthcare system, whatever it is, this will happen when you do not have enough black people, people of color, on those executive boards, you know, trying to talk some sense into their counter white people, saying, I don't know about this design. I don't know about this one, chief. I don't think this one is it, chief, because you might rub a certain demographic the wrong way. And I understand maybe these designers aren't designing with these demographics in mind, but you kind of have to. Like, it's not even like people are starting to be more aware of what they purchase, more aware of what they take part in, so you can't just brush over things as if people won't take notice, because that's not the world we're living in anymore. People are not gonna sit here and stand quiet. It's just sad, especially with Gucci. Like, Gucci has, this is why I just, when people are like, you know what, let's boycott Gucci, it's like Gucci has been doing some racially undermining things. If y'all don't know the whole story with Dapper Dan, the designer, there's a whole other video. Just type in Dapper Dan and Gucci in your Google search. You will learn the whole history behind that one. Now, yes, are they cordial now? I will say that, yes, but I just think it was really messed up how they treated him as well, as a black designer. Racism in fashion. This is why I'm also, I push myself, and I, you know, want to immerse myself in the industry, especially in a journalistic aspect and marketing aspect, because I feel like we really do need more blacks and people of color on these executive boards as creative directors for these household names. Like, we need y'all. Just so y'all know, it's not like I'm looking off an article or anything, no. Like, literally, when I do my research for these videos, I type out my notes of what I want to talk about, because if I don't do that, next thing you know, we're gonna have a half-an-hour long video. Another thing that caught my eye was Puppets and Puppets by Carly Mark and Ayla Argentina. A very avant-garde collection, no doubt about it. Personally, for me, when I looked at it, what stood out to me, it felt like I was witnessing a freak show at a circus, and not in a bad way. Like, if you think about it, freak shows are very eye-catching, and they're meant to really make you question your very existence, because it's like, how is this possible? And that's what it did for me, a lot of their designs. And it makes you, freak shows make you uncomfortable, right? And that's what this collection did for me. But again, not in a bad way. I personally find freak shows very interesting. Another big thing that happened, sad to say, Karl Lagerfeld, I really pray I said that correctly, do not come for me, passed away. May his soul rest in peace. You know, he was the creative director and designer for Chanel for, I think, almost 3 decades now, up until his passing. When he took over, he really was the major role in reviving Chanel, because at the time, people, you know, only a certain very specific market segmentation or demographic was wearing Chanel. And honestly, for a brand that's as nice as that may seem, because it may seem exclusive, it's not really smart profit-wise and marketing-wise, because you want to make as much profits as you can. And him taking over really helped Chanel out, and I feel like, honestly, he saved the company. That's my personal thoughts. And it wasn't just Chanel that he worked on. He also worked on Fendi and, you know, his own personal collection as well. But his signature ponytail and his designs will be missed. May your soul rest in peace. Another thing that stood out to me was Another thing that stood out to me was Gogo Graham's Fall 2019 line. So Gogo Graham is a trans trans woman designer. She designs collections for specifically trans women. She is very about using her collections and her lines to really use that to not only speak for the trans community, specifically trans female, but also to give back to that community. She works very she works very vigilantly in that community. She's a part of it. And this line was very, to me, avant-garde, but it was also just very futuristic. It was very romantic. A lot of the pieces were romantic in the fact that, you had a lot of almost like gowns, wedding veils and stuff like that, but in a very raunchy, raunchy in a good way. For me, raunchy is always good. Did that very well. And then it was like a mix of ceremonial, whether it be bridal ceremonial or funeral ceremonial styles. It was still ceremonial in a way that it felt like the models were dressed up for a very life-changing event. The whole cast consisted of trans women, and he ended the show using performance artist Leah James, and it was if you're squeamish to blood, like if you don't like blood, then I advise you to skip past this, because I will put a picture of what she did. She took hypodermic needles to stick her to pin down her veil into her head, and then as she walked down the runway would slowly take them out one by one, allowing her own blood from her body to really kind of mesh with the whole design and create a very interesting, intricate performance art piece to really collectively bring the show all together. And it was very interesting. Performance art always makes me uncomfortable, but that's the point of performance art. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable. It's supposed to make you not sit easy with it. It's supposed to make you think. So I really, really took note of that. That really stuck with me. Another fashion show that stuck with me was, I'm gonna try with this name, Eckhouse Lada, by Mike Eckhouse and Zoe Lada. For me, it was like high fashion everyday wear, and I don't mean these things in a bad way. It was very like clothes I would wear on a day-to-day basis if I wasn't basic. If I wanted people to turn their heads every single day, every single hour of my life, I would wear their collection to this, because it's not stuff you would wear to an evening event. It's not something you would wear on the night out. It's for me stuff, garments that you could wear every day, but not something that someone basic could pull off. And the fact that their runway was practically all of Brooklyn was very interesting, and I liked that they did that, because I think it was a smart decision to have Brooklyn as their runway, because their garments, the whole collection had a very New Yorker suave to it. That kind of, The next thing that caught my eye was the collection The Row by the Olsen twins. Honestly, when you look at the collection, when I read by the Olsen twins, I was like, okay, this makes sense, because if you kept up to date with them, as they got older, their sense of style became very minimalistic, but very gothic, and then very edgy. What I love about this collection is that for me, it is minimalism done right. And what I mean by that is that a lot of minimalistic type of clothes, the whole style, the whole aesthetic, to me, because it's like supposed to be minimal designs, minimal color scheme, minimal textiles, everything, it becomes very boring. Like, you know, I'm trying to cut back, but at the same time, like, I'm not here for my clothes to be boring. And what I love about this collection is that they did something smart in where it's not a big color scheme, it's not a big, you know, there's not a lot of different colorful textiles or you know, interesting textiles in general. But what they did was a lot of the silhouettes, the construction of the garments was done so intricately and yet interesting that it really catches the viewer's eye. A minimalist collection, but very high fashion at the same time. To me, luxurious fashion, honestly. And honestly, one of my favorites. I put down Marc Jacobs as well, his whole collection. And then also Tommy Hilfiger. I loved what he did with, you know, incorporating, you know, trans models as well as a lot of African American models. You know, like, this is the future of fashion. You can fight it or you can run with it. But either way, you know, like fashion always does, it's going to keep progressing and it's going to keep moving. So I love that Tommy Hilfiger did that. That decision really complemented his garments, complemented the whole collection, because it's a very fun, very festive collection to me. So, and then lastly, honestly, all of London Fashion Week, really, I just loved it. Personally, for me, I tend to lean towards British design, because British, when it comes to British fashion, it is very cut edge, very futuristic, very new age, and I just love that. Even British Vogue, I rather British Vogue than I do American Vogue. Just the way it is, like, honestly, you have to take a look at it, especially compare the two, American fashion and then British fashion, and you'll see what I'm saying. Even the talent, like, Central St. Martin's, they had their fashion show for their students. I think it was either their grad students or their graduating BA students. But then also University of Westminster, their BA students had their fashion show. Honestly, the talent that those students have, it's immense, and I love British fashion. And I'm gonna remind y'all to subscribe if you know, like, and then comment down below if you really like me doing these type of videos. If not, what type of videos would you like to see? And then share this video also as well. Hype me up fam, hype me up, y'all. Okay, so I forgot to mention this. Ooh. Okay, so I am doing a giveaway of a $30 Netflix gift card. I know y'all use Netflix and I know you would like it. All you have to do is subscribe and then comment down below that you have subscribed, and that's all you gotta do to be eligible. Yeah, anything. Subscribe and then comment below that you subscribed. But yeah, if you want a $30 Netflix gift card, whole month of Netflix. So how, like, don't give that up. All you have to do is subscribe and comment below. If you're already subscribed, just comment below and like the video and tell me that you like the video. So, ciao.
I got pretty like a girl, and he got 5 stories to tell. I see both sides like Chanel, see on both sides like Chanel. Like Screwball, eat it like I'm underworld. Hide my tattoos in Shibuya. Police think I'm of the underworld. 12
like it's well.
How you looking up to me?
It's nothing now. Can't you see I'm to be me?
God level, I am the I am. Now filming with the drone cam and the pink like killer cam. Zoom on that stick noise. I'm so close, I'm on that kill. Controller on your lower back.
That's good.
Eyes back.
And it's golden. That for me.
Rolling when you ride.
And watch it acting.
Turn like some dirty bastard. 2016 brushing this. 2017 ideas playing off the Walkman. This a code, not a click on the net. With a cup in a cup, activist.
What's the double-edged tonight? Not to fight, fighting. Eventually, and now I see.
Shuffling the style like a gun trick. Clips on clips like Mike. It's really a see both sides like Chanel. See on both sides like Chanel. I met a new friend. Hopefully more than. Well, what I do know is she makes me smile. I know I tend to think a lot. I wonder what she thinking about. Cause usually it goes something like.
I'm a nice boy, but it's nice